A streaming platform often takes a central place in any organization and is supported by a central team that manages the platform and onboards data engineers and developers. However, if you're a part of a development team that wants a streaming data use case to production quickly, you don't want too many dependencies to slow you down. In this video series, you'll learn how self-service streaming removes those dependencies and puts you in control of your streaming data pipelines, from consumer to producer, from development to production. In part 1 you have seen that when you are building an application that either produces or consumes streaming data, there are typically a couple of steps that you will always follow. Also, we have covered DemoCorp's use case to alert operation engineers in real time whenever one of their applications is having problems. The first two steps we have shown in the previous video. In this video we are going to continue with preparing and building the producer application incident reporter and verify it is working correctly. Now let's prepare my producer app. I navigate to the application section and click new application. Analog to the stream, I can now add information which helps other users of self-service to understand the purpose of this app and which team owns it. First, I enter the application ID, which usually corresponds to the package name used in the app. Here I will use com.demo.operations.incident-reporter. For name and short name, I just enter incident reporter API and incident_reporter respectively. The type I will select really depends on whether I am integrating an external well-known system into Actual or whether I am using or extending a custom app. In this case, I am extending the already available incident reporter API with produce capabilities, so I select custom. I can further specify the type by selecting Java. The visibility of the app in self-service is public, anyone can see it exists. I add a description to the app so users of self-service can read more about it. Lastly, I click Add Application to create the application. I now need to configure the application security in the same environment as the stream I want to produce to. When connecting to Actual, authentication and authorization of apps is done with certificates. Which certificate the apps is going to use in a particular environment is defined in self-service. It is strongly advised to use a different certificate for every distinct environment in which the app is used. Let's continue. I click Configure, after which I select a certificate PEM file for this app. The PEM file is being uploaded and analyzed to make sure your app, when using the certificate, can connect to the platform. Obviously, the private key of the certificate is never to be uploaded, but only to be used by the app itself in the connection to Actual. The next thing I need to do is request produce access to the application incident stream. Upon approval of this request, I will be able to set up and start my producer app. I click Add Request, select Producer, Stream, Application Incidents, and Environment Development, because that's the environment for which I am requesting access. I have configured the development environment to auto-approve stream access requests, as we are not dealing with production data. For environments that have production data, stream access requests are being sent to the stream owner, who has to approve those requests for every app that wants access. Now that the app is defined and authorized in self-service, I can go ahead and build the app that is actually going to produce the data. I've prepared the producer app already, which is using Actual Client to connect to the platform. I will be focusing mainly on the configuration in this demo, because that is the most essential to get a good connection and be able to send the data. Use the following URL with the example code to follow along. I have opened the code for the Incident Reporter app in my favorite IDE, and I'm now highlighting the configuration of the producer. The following 5 things are most important here. Application ID, this corresponds with the ID you enter in self-service. Endpoint, this is the Discovery API endpoint directing your client app to the correct Kafka cluster. Environment, corresponding to the environment in which you are producing to the stream. Tenant, usually the short name of your company. And SSL configuration, referring to a key and trustor used by your app to securely connect to the platform. The other parts of the app, such as a callback that tells me whether the message was produced successfully, I have already set up. Also, it would be good to add that we are simulating incident events using the Incident Event Generator class. Now let's start the producer app. When the initialization is completed, you will see that messages are being produced to Actual. You have seen that the callback can be used to determine whether messages were produced successfully. But there's another way you can really verify whether those messages have really ended up at the platform. I log in again to Actual. I open the application incident stream detail page. I click Browse and Search. I confirm to start a search in the development environment. And I click Search to search in the last hour. You can see below the messages that have been produced by the app. Verification done. As soon as we have verified that the app is working as expected in the development environment, we can start configuring the stream in the production environment. For this environment, we can use different settings, such as a different number of partitions, different schema versions, or even a different retention time. This concludes the typical flow for the producer application. In this video, you have learned how you can enable a producer application to send streaming data to Actual. We have set up an application, configured it, and requested access to the existing data stream. Lastly, we have run the app and verified the data was produced successfully. But most of all, we were able to do so in a self-service manner, without a central team facilitating access or doing the configuration for us. In the third and last part of the series, we are going to derive value from the data and build a consumer app that is going to do the alerting to PagerDuty. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one!